welcome to Law and Property with Dr. Prince Joel Esquire. Well, for those of you that might not know, this song by Timmy Dakolo gets him all the time. And anytime we play that song, it's always in high spirits. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Law and Property with Prince Joel Esquire on the Reach 104.9 FM Owerri. My name is Ify, and I've got Prince Joel on the hot seat once again. Welcome.
Thank you, Ify. Good morning, Imo Light. Good morning, Nigeria. And good morning to the management and staff of Reach FM.
Okay, yes. Very good one there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful morning.
Yes, last week, let's just get straight to it because this, of course, is the Yuletide. Well, should I say Yuletide? No. Another festive season is upon us, and we know that some of our brothers and sisters who might be outside the state will definitely be coming in. And a lot of giveaways are going on with regards to the purchase of, landed properties and all. And last week, we were able to talk about how to prove ownership to land in Nigeria and, of course, in Imo State in particular. But today, we're looking at something different, and it's due diligence search in land transactions. And I know that you've actually mentioned this, a couple of times, but in passing. But today we really want to focus, on due diligence search in land transactions. So over to you, Doctor.
Another word for it could be importance of due diligence in land transactions, real estate transactions. Like due diligence refers to the very degree of care you exercise when you want to buy a property, when you want to acquire a property. Is the extent to which you go to verify the title of the property that you want to buy. You will also agree with me that real estate, land acquisition, it's getting very interesting by the day. It's becoming one of the top 2 investments anybody must do. I've said in this program that if you don't have a property, you're losing out. If you don't have an investment in real estate, you are not doing yourself well. And so the importance of real estate has also made a lot of people lose money. Has made a lot of people lose money. I've made a lot of people end up in litigation. A lot of people have bought litigation.
But problems for themselves.
Yeah, but problems for themselves. A lot of people have also found themselves in situations where they could not remedy the situation. So, some of the cause of this is because they fail to conduct due diligence before acquiring that property. It will also interest you that this season, the Easter season, a lot of companies are giving giveaways. In fact, some of them are giving 10 bags of rice if you buy.
Some are even giving cows.
Some are. Yes, I won't be surprised if some of them are not giving out cars. Because of the season. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. It calls for caution. It means that people should be very, very careful not to fall for every offer that comes their way. And that leads us to the topic for today, the importance of due diligence. You cannot go wrong when you conduct due diligence. It will rather help save money. It will save you from problems. So this morning, let's look at some of the importance of conducting due diligence.
All right.
Number one, where one fails to conduct due diligence, one fails to conduct due diligence, you go ahead to purchase a property, you may end up in court. You may end up buying properties that are litigation bound. Okay, that's number one. It serves as a constructive notice, where due diligence is conducted and there are issues later. Okay, what does it do? It helps the seller it generates the buyer from any liability. Okay, so that's the second one. It saves the headache and the expenses of litigation. I've mentioned that. It saves you from being defrauded by people with false titles.
And we see this particular one happen
very often. Yes, our brothers in diaspora, has fallen victim of this. A lot of people who buy things on the internet, online. A lot of them have ended up being defrauded because they failed to do due diligence. Now, the beauty about due diligence is that if it's usually conducted by experts, and talk about lawyers. Lawyers are very good at doing due diligence. Now, if a lawyer should conduct a due diligence for you, number one, he will give you what they call the due diligence report. The due diligence report will guide you either to proceed in the investment,
okay,
or to back out of that investment. That's what the search report does for you. Okay. Now, it gives you knowledge of the history of the property. So one of the things that due diligence does is that it helps you to know and understand the origin of the land, how the land transcends from one generation to the other generation.
Okay.
If it's a communal land, it tells you those who settled on the land first before the present people who are there. It will tell you if there's been a dispute. Now, there is a proliferation of real estate companies in Nigeria, in Imo State in particular. Exactly. The number is growing. A lot of them are competing to meet with the big names, okay? When I say the big names, you know the big names, okay? So some of these young guys or some of these young companies compete to make waves. By so doing, they offer all manner of incentives to lure people. Now, my word for our listeners this morning is that before you embark on that investment, do consult an expert who will help you confirm the title of the land, do a proper due diligence, okay? It will save you a whole lot. It gives the buyer the opportunity, it gives the buyer very much that opportunity to know all the details about the land.
Okay.
That means that if a buyer, before spending his money, he has the opportunity to examine the documents for possible defects.
Okay.
Okay, so your opportunity to see the documents.
Okay.
If it is a land in the urban area, you have an opportunity to see the power of attorney, you have an opportunity to see the C of O, you have an opportunity to see the survey. Okay, so that will help you to examine the authenticity of that document. Okay. The importance of due diligence cannot be overemphasized. Now, the next one will be places where you conduct due diligence. Now, for experts who conduct due diligence, there are basic places where you must go and conduct the due diligence. You cannot miss it. One of them for lands in the urban area is the land registry. The land registry is compulsory, okay, because all lands are seen to be registered, the lands that are in urban areas. Okay. The next one, or the next place you must do your search is the court registry. Okay. Now, for land titles that were subject of litigation and eventually a party wins, you will have those details there. The next place is probate registry. Probate is in the High Court. Okay, that where you apply and obtain letter of administration. Okay. So it tells you who are the real administrators of the property. It gives you those details. The next one is Corporate Affairs Commission. Corporate Affairs Commission for companies, for properties that are owned by companies. It gives you the details of the directors. Okay, so you're able to pierce the veil and see exactly who are the directors. The form CAC 7 and all the CAC documents will give you that opportunity. Of course, the next one is the physical inspection. Okay. Physical inspection of the property you want to buy will help you discover the boundaries, help you discover the boundaries of the property, and if there are any building. If you're going to buy a property, you go there, you see a fence or you see some corner piece. It calls for a question. If you fail to ask that question, you will be hurting yourself in the future. Now, if it's a traditional land, you need to confirm the traditional history investigation where necessary. Okay. Now, so if I'm buying a land in the village, if I'm buying a land in Mbiri, okay, it is very, very important that I look at the traditional history. I investigate the traditional history. And where do you do that? You get that from the kindred, you get that from the traditional rulers in that community. You get that from the Eze of the community. If you're buying such large land in the community, it's very important that you reach out to the kindred, you reach out to the Ezes and the families that claim to own it. Another place of importance of conducting search, especially in the city of Owerri here, is what they call the OCDA, okay, which is the Owerri Capital Development Authority, OCDA. Now, the OCDA has a database of all the properties in the urban areas. It's an agency set up by the government, and they have those details. So with that, you know if the property has been marked for demolition. You know if the property is very, very important. If the property has been marked for demolition. Other places you can also check. Other agencies is EFCC. Okay, you check if the property has been confiscated by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission. is very, very important, because why would you want to go buy a property that has been confiscated by the EFCC?
But are there no situations where some of these properties can be given to members of the public to purchase?
No, there's a procedure for that.
Okay.
Then you who is buying, you need to also find out if this property, especially in the course of investigating, you will hear that there was a time EFCC came here and locked the gates and all that. That alone should even, give you reasons to search further.
Okay.
So if you check those informations, you find out from those agencies, you will know if it's one of the properties that EFCC have seized. But EFCC can actually seize a property and somebody goes behind and sell. We've seen things like that happen. Okay. So it's very, very important you check within those commission. There's also the corrupt practices, what they call the ICPC. ICPC is also in, yes. So you need to find out if this property is one of those that has been confiscated. You cannot go wrong with due diligence. Due diligence, interestingly enough, I wrote a book which is coming out in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
And the title of the book is Real Estate Investment Due Diligence Guide. Yes, in that book I took time to analyze land transaction in different states.
Different states in Nigeria.
Different states in Nigeria. So I took time to analyze land transaction in Imo State, in Anambra State. I've been privileged, opportune to deal or get involved in real estate across the states in Nigeria, from the western states in Nigeria to the eastern states in Nigeria to the southern states in Nigeria. Okay, now the way those in Calabar or Uyo will react over land, it's a little bit different from the way those of us in Imo State will react. Okay, and the process and the procedure are similar but very, very different, especially when you're dealing with rural with properties in the rural areas. Okay, now properties in the urban areas, you will usually and must deal with the land registry and the survey general's office. So I'm sure that by next week I'll be doing a full introduction of the book, and I will also notify the public of when this book will be launched. It's one book that every real estate investor, every real estate practitioner, every real estate agent must have. I call it the Real Estate Bible. Okay,
the Real Estate Bible. We'll be going on a very quick break, and when we return, we'll open the phone lines officially. And for those of you that have questions with regards to how to conduct due diligence, can definitely call in and throw your questions.
Dream of owning your own landed property? Then take advantage of this opportunity by investing in our estate. Invest in Imo State. Invest in Imo Land. Maxville. Location, Owerri. Promo price, 3.5 million naira for 464 square meters and 5.5 million naira for 928 square meters. Tehila Garden. Location, Ngopala Community, Owerri. Size, 50 feet by 100 feet. Price, 1.62 million naira. Max Gardens. Location, off Port Harcourt Road, Owerri. Price, 2 million naira for 464 square meters and 4 million naira for 928 square meters. Flourish City. Location, 13 minutes drive from Control Obako. Price, 3.6 million naira and 10% on outright payment. Size, 464 square meters. Land documents and instrumental payments are available. For inquiries, call or send a WhatsApp message to 0809 158 7777 or send an email to info@propertygallery.com.ng. You can also visit our website on www.propertygallery.com.ng. Proudly powered by propertygallery.com Limited.
Welcome back to Law and Property with Dr. Prince Joel Esquire. My name is Ify, and today we have been taking a look at due diligence search in land transactions. And of course, for those of you that might be tuning in just about now, the barrister, the doctor has actually, opened their eyes to exactly what due diligence is. For those of you that might not know, simply put, it's doing the background work before you purchase any property at all, especially here in Imo State. Now, the phone numbers to call and the number to send your WhatsApp messages to is 090-7000-1049. 090-7000-1049. For those of you that have questions to ask the barrister here in the studio, do well to call those numbers or send us a WhatsApp message. Remember that so many property agencies are actually doing a lot of giveaways, and sometimes many of them are doing this just to get customers. But then again, how sure are you that these real estate companies or real estate agencies are legit? This, of course, is that time where you call in to actually ask your questions. 09070001049. This message from Shadrach Matthew says, from Umuguma, I really love your program. Thank you so very much. 09070001049. Now, Barrister, while you were explaining, you talked about landed properties in the urban areas and those in the rural areas. But, you know, from your experience and, of course, your years of work, you know, in the Southeast, especially Imo State, would you say that Imo State has more lands in the urban areas or the rural areas?
There are more lands to buy in the rural areas than
the urban areas.
Yes, the urban areas are actually limited. The urban areas, the lands in urban areas are very limited. However, you get more lands. You get cheaper lands in the rural area. You get cheaper lands in the rural area than the urban areas. The lands in the urban areas are already registered. The lands in the urban areas already, use the word, gazetted. Okay, yeah. So when you want to buy that, you find you spend more money. Okay. Yes. And when you talk about long-term investment, people will prefer to go to the rural area to do long-term investment. I call it land banking.
Land banking.
Yes, that's a discussion for another day.
Okay, 09070001049. Well, you know, talking about the importance of due diligence, has there ever been a situation where one would conduct due diligence and be truly satisfied?
Yes. The good thing about due diligence may not completely eliminate, I use the word completely eliminate issues that may arise. Okay. Yes, but it goes a long way to reduce issues. What we have seen from experience, the kind of issues you see after buying land is where the money has been shared and family members are now fighting for the sharing formula. Before you know, they will stop you from working on site. Those are the kind of things, you know. That does not mean that you did not do your due diligence well.
Okay, let's take this call. Good morning. Very well, thank you. Your name and location. All right, do well to call us back if you can. Remember that you can alternatively send us a message via WhatsApp to 09070001049. This morning, we're talking about due diligence. What do you need to know? Don't get carried away by the bags of rice or the goats or the rams or the cows that will be given to you if you purchase just any land. Remember, here in Imo State, a lot of real estate companies are coming on board. A lot of them are actually, you know, having programs on air, you know, telling people, oh, come and buy property, come and do this, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. And also remember, Barry said that a lot of Easter bonanzas will also be going on as well. Now, we're not saying you shouldn't partake in these bonanzas, but the last thing you want is after eating the cow, after cooking the rice, somebody drags you to court. I mean, you will definitely throw up everything you've eaten, but we definitely do not want that for any of you. That is why this program is actually coming your way. Dr. Prince Joel Esquire is opening your eyes, you know, by letting you know what you need to do, how you need to conduct your due diligence, and the places that you need to visit as well. But tell us, Dr. Prince Joel, here in Imo State, where, you know, lands are more or less passed from generation to generation to generation, how then do you think, you know, you can actually, because I remember one time, I think I read somewhere where it says that, you know, you need to meet, is it every member of the family right now, or those that represent the family? I've forgotten how it was being put. But here in Imo State, where lands are, you know, passed down and all of that, is it going to be very expensive for an individual to get a lawyer who is going to actually help them conduct this due diligence? Because I feel like a number of people are scared. It's actually going to cost some people money.
If you're scared to spend the money, you also be ready to face the issues when they arise. You cannot go wrong. One of these days, we should even treat about professionals in land transaction, professionals that you must talk to in land transaction, and that's the surveyor and the lawyer. You cannot go wrong talking to these two people, and especially lawyers who are experts in their field. You can't go wrong. Now, because I'm not in this program to talk as a lawyer, as it were, and here as a real estate coach, I want to limit my conversation to that. You cannot go. Do you know that real estate, do you know that land is like oil in Imo States? Are you aware of that?
Tell us about it.
Land is like oil. Land is another oil. People are ready to kill themselves because of land. That's the truth. So for you to conduct due diligence with family, you must meet the kindred. You must meet the head of the family. Any transaction that that is owned by a family, and the head of the family is not involved in that transaction is bound to fail. That transaction is faulty.
Now, is this what you get in other states in Nigeria, or is this just
it's similar? Yes, it's a similar practice. Okay, head of family. If a land belongs to the family, for you to deal with that family, you must interact. You must meet with the head of the family. The head of the family must sign your documents with other members. Okay, call them accredited representative or members of the family. Very, very key. Any transaction belonging to family and the family heads are not there, that transaction is as good as a nullity.
090-7000-1049. Any transaction that you would want to conduct, make sure that the head of the family is present. 090-7000-1049. Okay, other people are joining the live feed on Facebook, and this one is saying, I love your program. This one is from Milky Austin. Thank you so very much. For those of you that have questions, remember that you can also interact with the real estate coach after this program. But just before we take on more calls and maybe messages, just tell your listeners how exactly they can be able to reach you for further conversation.
Yes, because this is what I do every day. I help people in solving problems. The number
real estate problem.
Real estate problem. As a coach, 080-2055-0410. 080-2055-0410. Reach me, send me WhatsApp messages, and we can continue this conversation. One good takeaway here is that people must conduct due diligence before they invest.
Very important.
And you must contact or consult an expert to do this.
Now, talking about this word expert, who then is an expert?
An expert could be a consultant. He could be a professional. An expert, a lawyer,
okay,
a surveyor. A lawyer, a surveyor.
Because many times, I hear this word all the time, an expert, an expert, an expert. And it just makes me wonder, because a lot of people come up with, that title.
Yes, we have the problem. We have a lot of agents. You'll have a lot of people, sorry to use the word, in Lagos, we call them omoniles. Okay. Yes.
How about in Owerri? What do you call them?
What they call in Owerri? I think they call them, is in Demala. I don't know what they call them.
Something like that.
Yeah. So if you must consult a professional, of course, I mean a professional that is lettered, okay, a professional that is well schooled,
okay,
and in that instance, you must consult a lawyer,
okay,
a surveyor. The work of a surveyor is to measure the land, okay, that's the work of a surveyor. So you cannot do without these two people. Very, very important.
Okay, you can do without a surveyor and a lawyer.
Yes. Very often the lawyers work with surveyors. Okay, very often when you instruct a lawyer to do a due diligence for you, the lawyer would always work with a surveyor and work with the Ministry of Survey in ascertaining the status of the land.
Okay, 090-7000-1049. This is Law and Property with Dr. Prince Joel Esquire, and this program comes your way every Monday, 8:30 to 9 a.m. In 30 minutes, he will definitely open your eyes to all you need to know, making sure that you conduct eagle-eye due diligence, making sure that you don't, give out your money and then you have no proof as to what it is that you're purchasing real estate-wise. 090-7000-1049. Today we have been looking at due diligence search in land transactions. And remember that anytime he comes to the studio, he always focuses on Imo State in particular. Well, he's actually a son of the soil. A message on WhatsApp from Benefit Boy says, can payments be done immediately while you have your land? A kind of beneficial. I don't really understand this message.
Payment can be done immediately before you make payment.
Okay, he said, is it intimately or immediately, Benefit Boy?
Yeah. No, but for you to make payment, you must be satisfied that what you're making, the payment, you're sure of what you're buying. Okay, you don't buy in assumption. There are risk investors. There are people who want to take risk to invest. But I'm saying that is usually not the very best. Get your lawyer, get your surveyor, get the experts to do the due diligence for you before you part with the money. In course of running this program, I received different complaints, and some of them, borders on making payment without being sure of what you're paying.
Well, many times too, Barrister, you would agree, or rather, Doctor, you would agree with me that many times people are being put under pressure to either pay for this land at this time or the price goes up.
That is why we're having this program, because this Easter season, there's a deadline for you to make payments.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, so it's up to you. If you have a lawyer or you have an expert, I'm sure your expert can also meet up to those due diligence that you need to go through before you part with your money. The real estate industry has also witnessed a whole lot of fraud. In one of our episodes, I will be dealing fraudulent practices common in real estate transactions. Maybe in our next edition. Yes, maybe in our next edition.
So people don't get carried away by,
I will list out A to Z the kind of scams you see in real estate transactions. Today, a lot of people have paid money and there's no land. I receive messages every day. They have paid money, there is no land to offer. And that's why you must deal with reputable real estate companies. Okay, there are few of them. There are few of them that are giants. Okay, and there are issues that are genuine. When we find those issues, we'll understand. But when it has to do with the fraudulent practices, I'm very, very angry at that. And I fight them with the whole energy that I have. I've also fallen victim in the past. So anytime I come across such things like that, I fight with all the bitterness inside of me.
So it doesn't repeat itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, 0907104. Now remember that you can call in or send a WhatsApp message just in case you have questions with regards to how to conduct due diligence in real estate transactions, especially here in Imo State, Nigeria. Remember that just in case you would want to have a one-on-one with Dr. Prince Joel Esquire, you can actually reach him on his various social media handles that he is going to be reading out, or you can call his number. So just as we round up, one more time, how can they reach you?
Yeah, 08020550410. You can also reach me on any of the social media handle, preferable Facebook.
Okay.
You can drop off a short message on Facebook, and that's Law and Property with Prince Joel on Facebook. You'll find me there, and then you can leave a message on Facebook. You can also reach me on any of the social media platforms. Hashtag Law and Property with Prince Joel.
Okay. Well, your numbers one more time before we call it a wrap.
The number is 08020550410.
Okay. All right. That has been a time on Law and Property with Prince Joel Esquire. Join us same time next week, Monday, for another educating and informative edition of Law and Property with Dr. Prince Joel Esquire. Good morning.
Are you finding it difficult to get desired properties across Nigeria that suit your budget? Or are you looking for a platform that provides a wider range to market your properties? Then it sure should be Property Gallery.